Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. This week we're exploring what it takes to succeed, and yesterday I ran through 6 key variables that impact the level of results we're able to produce in our lives. So the first one was starting place, where you're beginning. The second was the amount of time and energy you invest, your effort. The third is the strategy or strategies that you're employing. The fourth is your level of skill and knowledge in relation to the level of challenge. The fifth is other people, how you relate and work with other people. And the sixth is the random factor. In other words, how things work out in that way that it's unpredictable, how things will work out. Well, today I want to introduce what I call the master variable. And it's the master variable because it gives us the maximum possible leverage over the other 6. So in order to kind of get your head around this, I want you to consider a scenario. So you wake up in the morning and you're a little bit tired. And before you leave for work, your partner reminds you in no uncertain terms that you agreed you were going to take the kids to practice and to rehearsal after school. Even though you're pretty sure you never had that conversation. In fact, that conversation never happened. And if it had, you would never have agreed to it in the first place. So you log into your email at work, and there are 3 urgent messages about 3 critical projects, and they're all saying that strategic decisions need to be made before the end of the day, if not sooner. So you look at your calendar, which is completely full, and you realize that you're going to need to stay at work until nearly midnight to get everything done, and that doesn't even include if you left in the middle of the afternoon to drive your kids around. How are you going to handle it? What's the key variable that's going to have the most impact on how your day goes, on how much work gets done, on which decisions get made, on the quality of those decisions, and on whether your relationships with your partner and at work are stronger or weaker by the end of the day? So is it going to be primarily a function of how many times you've been in situations like this in the past that you can draw on? Is it going to be a function of how hard you're willing to work? Is it going to be a function of which time management strategies you choose to apply? Is it going to be a function of how good you are at your job? Is it going to be a function of your people skills? Is it going to be a function of luck? Or is it going to be something completely different? So it was interesting because when I first created that scenario, I realized that my answer would have changed over the years. In other words, 25 years ago, I would have just given up and blamed my day on my inexperience or other people's incompetence and all-around bad luck and just had a crappy day. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would have gone for it and I would have tried to resolve it through a combination of hard work and time management strategies. Maybe 5, 10 years ago, I would have hoped that my work experience and communication skills would carry the day. But it doesn't look that way to me now. And the variable that I see as the master variable is something that comes from a deeper understanding of the nature of the mind. And it's the variable of state of mind. So I want you to just think about how that scenario would be different if you were in a fantastic mood. If for whatever reason you woke up in a great mood, maybe you had great sex the night before, maybe there was your football team won the big game, maybe you won a lottery scratcher for enough, not enough money to leave your job, but like enough money that you were going to have a lot of fun. Or maybe it was just you woke up on the right side of the bed instead of waking up feeling a little bit tired. But just imagine how different that scenario would play out if for whatever reason you were just in a fantastic state of mind throughout, as opposed to in a kind of a low state of mind to begin with that just got lower and lower throughout the day. And tomorrow I'm going to talk more about how that variable unfolds and over the rest of the week, how we can learn to work with that variable to create a richer and more successful experience of being alive. Until then, have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.